Hello everyone, welcome to the Broken Logo Gaming channel. Today's episode is going to focus on a max score strat for the club. This video is a continuation of the series that I began with the max score strat for the squats. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. It seems like you did. So I'd like to continue this series in the hopes of helping anyone that might need it. I personally began this simply because I was looking to max my score at any given level, but then I realized that outside of just sort of, I guess, the bragging rights, there are actually some intrinsic benefits to doing that. Obviously, being able to rack up XP means that you can unlock your preferred perk that much more quickly, but more importantly, you're actually able to sort of stockpile the XP by focusing on maxing your level scores so that you can unlock skills that fit your playstyle more quickly and unlock them permanently as well, which I think is going to be incredibly important. Some of the most valuable skills are only about 500 XP, so conceivably you can unlock 2 or 3 skills per level as long as you're focused on maxing your score. And so that's why I decided to create this video specifically to help anyone trying to do that. Personally, when I first started playing this game, I focused on not leveling up actually, because I wanted to focus on just getting the basics down and sort of becoming a technician. But once I was able to do that, I realized that by maxing out my score, I could then layer on skills that would help me play more dynamically and would help me in the pursuit of my age 20 run. So currently right now I'm in the tower at age 20. But I wanted to take a break from gameplay in order to edit this video and share it with you guys. So very glad to have you here. If you find that this video helps you, I'd be very appreciative if you could drop a comment and let me know specifically what helped you, or if you feel like it didn't, let me know where I can improve, because I started making these videos for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into it. Entering the first rule, the 3 guys combined will be worth 300 level score, as long as you keep your attack multiplier at 5x. And the first bouncer, before you enter the club, will be worth 150 points, as long as you keep your attack multiplier at 5x. Moving into the dance area, quick strat, sweep the first 2 people, because that normally leads to a takedown animation. So if you need the help, you'll be able to replenish some of it there, or just use it as an effective strategy to quickly take these people out. I also like to fight in close quarters. It leads to a lot of friendly fire. It's not necessarily recommended, but the benefit is that with those couches, you're able to sort of jump back and forth and keep the AI off balance. So from here, as you can see, I'm just focused on making sure that I'm keeping my attack multiplier at 5x, because after I've taken all of these people out, I will be at 1150 points. The key obviously is to make sure that you're always creating space in case you get hit. And then making sure that you get your attack multiplier back up to 5x. Quick strat with these girls is to use the duck strike to time it from when they're about to hit you, either when they're doing their sort of breakdancing move, or even a straight on kick, or even a punch, because it will stun them and leave them open for sweeps and ground attacks. After you've taken her out, you'll have 1,500 points. So she is worth 350 points on her own. 70 points individually if you're not able to get your attack multiplier up. So it obviously behooves you to do that. The next room, I like to take a bottle in, take out the first girl, and then I like to lead everyone else. Out here, there's a lot more space for you to operate. Here I was being a little bit fancy and I eventually paid for it. But the advice would be to stay on the other side of the bar and use all of the space in the dance floor area to your advantage. There's going to be an opportunity for one of the enemies from either the first group that opens the door or the second group that you see that's inside chilling, for somebody to turn into an empowered enemy. Sometimes that's going to be two people. But when it's all said and done, at the end of this, it's usually at least one of the enemies that turns empowered, so you should be able to walk away from this scenario with anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 points. So from here, I like to take a bottle up to the next room, quickly take out one of the girls, use a bottle on the other one, so that I can focus sort of all my attention on the toughest enemy, which is this guy here. There's also a possibility that he turns empowered, so take him down at your own risk. Obviously, if you are able to trigger him into an empowered state, you have an opportunity to grab 500 points there, so always keep that in mind as you work towards your max score goal. So running into this room, something I like to do is take a bottle, stun the guy in the red hoodie because he's the toughest out of all four, throw him over the balcony so that I can focus on the guy in the gray shirt, and then normally only one girl will engage you. But if you allow that red hooded guy to get a couple of hits off, then that seems to embolden the AI, and then you have to fight all four of them at once before having to fight these big guys. So an effective strategy is to run through the partition. You'll break, a stick will become available. Make sure you have a bottle in your hand so that you can stun and knock the guy out. So that gives you an opportunity then, if you're knocking down one guy, to focus on the other one. And that reminds me, I would definitely recommend the Environmental Mastery perk, or skill rather, the Duck Strike skill, and also the Charge Fist skill for the club. Very effective against the dancer girls, and for any tough enemy to kind of stun them and open them up for additional combos. This room, even though I've brought the stick in here, I like to get a bottle, stun one of the girls. That'll trigger a takedown animation 100% of the time. And then what you want to do is quickly jump out of that bar, because enclosed spaces are not good against them. Try to recover your stick. Attack first. You'll see here that she's actually able to sweep me. I was avoiding a little bit too late there, but even though I've lost my stick, I still have the Duck Strike to be able to sort of keep her at bay and keep her honest. Also, start to recognize their combos. When they go with a hook, they will almost 100% of the time try to sweep you afterwards, so avoid the hook, avoid the sweep, and they've opened themselves up for damage. This next room, these guys cumulatively are worth 300 points. Just an FYI, if you knock them down, you'll alert the guys that are in the pit, so if you can take them out on the level above, that would be ideal. As you can see here, I focus on the fodder first. These guys are very easy to take out. What'll be left is this guy who will become empowered, and then the big guy. If I'm able to incapacitate one, I focus on the other, as opposed to trying to just wail on one. It kind of keeps them honest and allows them to chip away at damage for everyone in the group, which I find to be a more effective fighting strategy than focusing at one at a time. Again, I knew he was going to turn empowered, and I wanted that to happen because I want the 500 points. You can see here, at 4,840 points, and by the time I've defeated him, I'll have 5,340 points. So before I've even reached the first shrine, which is beyond the door after you've defeated this disciple, I'll have well over 5,000 points, which would allow me then, in theory, to unlock the Parry perk and permanently unlock it, since there are 3 shrines per level. I would definitely strongly recommend considering that. You might want to split that up over the squats in the club, in case you want to kind of spread out your XP and unlock other skills, or other perks rather. But it becomes incredibly expensive once you reach the museum. I believe 8,000 XP. I can imagine it's only going to be more expensive beyond that point, and the Parry perk is an essential item to unlock before you reach the end game. So the sooner the better. As you can see here, before I go to the first shrine, which I bypassed to begin with, I go ahead and run upstairs and take out these guys. The first guy is very easy to take out. The second guy, and then any other guy after that, has the opportunity to turn into an empowered enemy. I like to usually trigger it with him because he's alone, and so therefore a lot more easier to manage. So I'll quickly take him out, and he'll yield 500 points. So now I'm at 6,300 points, as you can see. I'm on my way to 9,000 XP for the level. Again, these guys, pretty easy to take out, and I have the confidence to take them down if I want to, or throw them on the balcony, because I know that one of them already became empowered. So that's always good to know. I definitely try to, again, trigger it in one of the earlier guys, because this guy's the toughest guy. He has a jumping roundhouse to sweep combo that's quite annoying, and even more so when it becomes empowered. So my advice would be to not trigger that state with him unless you want the challenge. So you can see at this point, I'm now going to the shrine for the first time with over 7,000 level score, 3,500 XP, which I can use to purchase skills of my choice. As you can see, obviously that's a lot of XP, so you do have the opportunity to permanently unlock a few skills if you are constantly running the squats in the club. You can essentially have all of them unlocked by the squats, but if you want a little bit of variety, then you can certainly have that done by the time you finish the club as well. This next room has a shrine immediately, which is really nice. So it's just a matter of taking these guys out. Again, you're obviously trying to focus on keeping your attack multiplier up, but prioritize your health, obviously. The exercise mats in this room are a great way to keep these guys honest and have them reacting to you, so that you're not ever really ganged up on. If you have the environmental mastery skill unlocked, there's also a duffel bag in that room that you can use. And as you can notice, the reason that I'm trying to keep them away from this room is because there's a pipe in there that I want to be fresh, so I can use it for the proving ground, which is all those people that you have to fight before you fight that disciple, as you continue the trials before you get to Sean. There's an opportunity for one of these people to turn empowered. Didn't happen in this instance, but that'd be an additional 500 points. So I would have closer to 8,000 points if one of those people had turned empowered. As you can see, though, that entire room yielded 700 points, even though I didn't have my attack multiplier at 5x the entire time. And again, as you can see, it's quite feasible then for you to unlock the parry skill, because you'll have the 5,000 requisite points by the first time. you touch a shrine, the second one, and then obviously any shrine subsequent to that, you'll obviously meet the requirement if you want to unlock it permanently. So we are at the Proving Grounds. Again, that pipe is going to be very helpful for me to take out a few of them in the beginning. Again, you need to anticipate that people will be trying to attack you from all sides, so it's quite effective for you to be periodically pulling on your analog and just sort of being aware of your surroundings. Again, there's a wind up or other telltale animations that'll let you know that something's coming, so you just have to start to memorize those tells and react accordingly. When I'm sandwiched by enemies, I like to sort of switch between the two. I'll use a heavy avoid counter to stun one of them, and then I'll turn around and quickly either sweep the other or use light attacks and sort of just dynamically jump back and forth until I've taken everyone out. So I'm just quickly finishing up this room. Now I'm going to fight the next disciple. While she's talking, you can sweep her. This is very easy for you to do. I definitely wouldn't recommend fighting her on the elevator platform because if she knocks you down, she'll definitely break your posture and probably kill you. Take her to the bottom floor where there's a lot more space. Use weapons, attack first. If you don't have a weapon, then you should assume a defensive posture. Always blocking and looking for her patterned attacks. If she does the double spin kick, she'll definitely do a sweep right after that. I mean, that's a move that's programmed for all the disciples. So you just have to kind of watch those tells and avoid accordingly. Take a weapon into the next room, because what you're going to want to do is use that to stun the disciple with the staff. I guess this would be the Dexterity trial. If possible, after you've stunned her, sweep. I wasn't able to do that and I paid for it, but I'm able to recover because I've been building up focus. No shame in using focus against her in particular, and you'll have an opportunity to build it up again before you fight Sean, because there'll be 2 more disciples after this. Rule of thumb is to block the first 2 attacks of a palm attack and then avoid the last one. They all have the same animations, the double jump to sweep, and then sort of the shoulder rush, which ends in a fiery palm attack. So again, you just want to make sure that you're paying attention, blocking the first couple attacks and then avoiding the last one so that they open themselves up for damage. Against these 2 disciples, I like to take out the guy first. I feel like he's a lot harder, a lot hardier of an opponent. I have the confidence because I've memorized their attack patterns, but I definitely wouldn't recommend having your back against the wall with them there. They can quickly break your posture. And again, the reason that I was sort of baiting them is because I wanted to build up my focus. It's very helpful to take these guys out. So as you can see, before I reach Sean, 9,800 points there on the ticker. Even though I've spent some XP, you can then imagine I'd have at least 4,500 points to play with if I wanted to unlock skills. And that's pretty much it. I just want to make sure again that you're keeping your attack multiplier at 5x and hopefully leveraging some of the strategies that I demonstrated room to room, so that you can feel confident to take on these groups of enemies while also keeping your attack multiplier up. As you can see here, I'm just sort of cleaning up shop here, knocking off a few of the extra perks that I have, but presumably if I wanted to, I could just unlock Parry. So see you next time. Peace.